We need your help now. Show your support to the Ken Lanci campaign and help us finish the job we started last November.
With less than 5 months left in office, the current county administration is resurrecting plans to sell the 35-year-old Ameritrust Tower and century-old rotunda at a loss to taxpayers that could total over $18 million. While others turn their backs and continue with business as usual, one person has stepped forward to protect the people's investment.
Good morning. Mike Connick, please.
And your name?
Ken Lanci.
Okay, I'll let him in here.
Thank you.
Mike, Mr. Lanci's here to see you. He'd like to meet you in the conference room.
Terrific.
Come with me.
Thank you. Thanks for working on this over the weekend. I appreciate, the time that was spent. Okay, I believe that Rule 65 is what we're filing here, and it's injunctions and restraining orders, so we're looking for injunctive relief. The court may issue a preliminary injunction only on notice to the adverse party.
How in the world do you know so much about law? You're a businessman, right?
Well, I've had over 24 businesses, and I've been involved in litigation, probably over 36 different pieces of litigation over the years. And it's always somebody has a dispute, there's always a question, people owe you money, people allege you owe them money, so you start to learn more so that you have to spend less.
You've absorbed a lot.
You absorb a lot, yes, that's the best way to learn. We need the motion.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so we're working on the motion. I think it's important that we get this filed. It appears that the parties have decided that they want to appoint interim people, and in appointing interim people, it's just a continuation of the old. It doesn't usurp the powers, okay, of the auditor or the commissioners. We don't know everything that's going on. I don't know who's guilty and who's not guilty, but I think we all know from a common sense standpoint that if we don't do something to stop what's going on, we're going to get in further trouble. So we need to get this filed today and make sure that we make every attempt on behalf of the citizens. Whether we prevail or not, it's going to be up to a judge. But I'd rather take my chances in federal court to make sure that the people have the best shot.
You want them to stop altogether? All the deals they're entering into?
Any deals that are detrimental to us, and I can tell you that the Ameritrust Tower is to sell it for $22 million is detrimental, and that loss, as I said months ago, we could incur that loss anytime. But I've reviewed some reports that have been presented to them that make a lot of sense, and I've also called for a space utilization study, which really makes this whole issue of selling moot. You have to wait and see what your needs are before you decide you don't need it. And the last thing I want to do is to give up what I consider to be a future prime piece of property, okay, in downtown Cleveland, all right, for little money, and then find out, we should have waited because the value is far greater. It's not the time to do that. Like I said, we can have the county lose money anytime in the future. But let's be sure that's the right thing to do. And the rush, to sell just, right now doesn't pass the smell test to me.
Sure. Now, if DeMora and Russo step down, and Stu Garson puts in, appoints other people there,
right,
these deals still continue.
The last thing, all right, that should be allowed is the current commissioners to continue to make deals long-term that's detrimental to this county. In business, we say, very simply, you're the innovator, or you're the caretaker, or you're the undertaker. And in this lame duck session, okay, we know they're not innovators, all right? We don't want them to be the undertaker. So we want them to be the caretaker. Don't do anything to make things worse. Because if there's no indictments, that's up to the government, the FBI. I'm sure they're doing a great job, but we need to protect the citizens of the county. For once, the people have somebody representing them, the people, all the people. So we need to get this done. Okay, notary does that. All right, so we're getting ready to file.
Correct.
And what's the procedure? What happens?
Everything's filed electronically in district court. We'll forward the complaint, the motion, and the memorandum to the clerk's office. They'll review it. If the paperwork is appropriate, pursuant to their filing procedures. They'll assign a case number and a judge. I'll get an email. At that point in time, I can go online, retrieve the summons, and get them to the process server and have the defendant served.
That should be done today, by the end of the day. Typically by the end of, or at night to get notice.
Tomorrow at the latest.
Yeah, tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, very good. All right. Thanks.
You put an injunction, which means it, in essence, stops the commissioners and auditor from doing anything.
Doing anything that ends up being detrimental to the county. And based on the previous history, this is not about guilt or innocence. This is about being practical. That if we had a situation where the old saying is, it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, I think it's a duck. So getting rid of this property in a very rushed fashion without the taxpayers really being represented here, I think, it doesn't bode well for all of us.
Why is this such a key component?
Well, the Ameritrust Tower has been an issue for the last, couple of years, and I think that it is an asset in this city, in this county, for this county, that should not be disposed of at this time. I think that, 9th and Euclid is, a premier piece of real estate in the city.
So with this lawsuit, what would you envision the commissioners and auditors' role for the next 5 months until the new government takes over?
I'm asking the court to put them in a caretaker role. Do the things that are absolutely necessary, okay? And do not commit the county and the residents to something that is not to their best interests.
Well, I lived in Cuyahoga County all my life. I've been in business for myself for over 30 years. When the recession started, instantly made a difference in my business, and unfortunately I had to cut down staff eventually. What I've noticed about the county and the government here, we've basically been under one party since I can remember. And when I saw the show, there was something about Ken that I liked. What impressed me the most, though, is he could live anywhere he wants to live, and he chooses to stay here. I still feel that this area has a lot of potential, and there's a lot of resources here in the people, and also natural resources that we could take advantage of. And from what I've seen from Ken Lanci, I think he'd do a good job at cultivating those resources. The fact also that he's doing all this for $1. I mean, what more can you say about that? That's really different. I've heard him say he's not a politician, and I believe that. I think he's just a guy with a good heart who really has this area and the best interests of this area in mind. Well, when my wife and I saw the show and saw how much Ken's putting into it and where his heart was, we figured that the least we could do is call and donate something to his campaign. And I believe in what he's doing, and I hope he's successful.
The most important person in Ken Lanci's campaign is you. Only with your support can we bring the change that this county deserves. Seize the moment. Call the toll-free number on your screen now.
Talking heads, career tap dancers, suddenly have all the answers. You can't fix the mess when you're the one who got us feeling. You failed the test, and we can't wait another minute. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone. If you don't want the same old players to play the same old song, seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone.
Paid for by Citizens for Ken Lanci. Joseph Casaro, Treasurer.